Hello, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. It's me, A. Prustian, and we are back in the defendant lobby number 2. So let's see what's going on. Oh, sorry, Edgeworth. Right, we kind of got him in trouble. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Huh, don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Gumshoe, you are always interrupting something. It's great. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again? Well, let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. It's funny, because I had a moment there when he's like, you have a lot of nerve making me run around. I was like, I didn't accidentally load the wrong save, did I? No, they're just doing a callback. Evidence law. Interesting. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. This feels like the kind of thing that Phoenix, as a trial lawyer, you should probably already know. I'm just saying. Anyways, you must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. And then... yeah, right? You could at least study some evidence law, really? Yeah. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. Him must mean Gant. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Okay. Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Oh, that's interesting. Mr. Edgeworth? The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now, you're telling me you want to do more? He has kind of a point. You've got to be kidding me, pal! You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. Oh. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're gonna expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Alright, well that's the goal. I want to check out this book. Courtroom number 9. Okay, court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. But first, let's check this out. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. I don't know how that helps yet. Guess we'll find out. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking, and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? There's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement. I mean, Phoenix called forth a parrot earlier in a previous trial, so it's not that unusual, but it is an interesting thing to me that this is a very asymmetric trial system. Prosecution calls witnesses, defense cross-examines, but it's not the other way around, right? But a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls... I'm gonna have to call Gant, right? Yeah, the time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. I gotta call Gant to the stand. So let's do it. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Here we go. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir? Worthy. Are you sure you want to do this? The thing is, Gant, you've already got Edgeworth on the ropes. Like, he doesn't have as much to lose as he otherwise might. You know? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Acting? Interesting. As opposed to just, I'm the chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? It wasn't murder, you guys. Manslaughter. Good God. Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh? Like what? Like the role you played in all of this? Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. What, he can't be both? Look at that face. Brave and foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, If this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The thing is, it seems very unlikely then that Gant will incriminate himself. All right, the witness will now begin his testimony. Here we go. SL9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. That's not true. Because the stuff was in his safe. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Yeah, I wondered exactly what happened with him. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. I'm not actually convinced that Emma did get this guy dead. I don't know. I feel like there's something else going on here with Gant. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. Okay. So I recall Neil and I were questioning him that day. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant, Lana Skye, also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. To make a long story short, we slipped up. The power outage didn't help either. How did you slip up? So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first, and Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. Yeah, real lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden, and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went into his heart, though. My God, Gant. That's not funny. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. How could you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway, so you can see I had nothing to do with the forgery. I don't think that's true. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office. That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd better off staring at the court record. Worthy, always the smooth talker. Which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence. That can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Power didn't help. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. She'd already arranged the crime scene. So this is where I think I need to present something to link him to it. The question is, what links him to it? I was thinking the, oh, no. Yeah, half the list was found at Gant's desk. So maybe that? Like the stuff that we found in the safe in the office, right? Gonna try this. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid that's a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Skye drew her picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. Yeah, so I think either of those would have worked. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Right? I wondered when this is going to kick Phoenix in the ass, like investigating, collecting the stuff. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so, too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured Dick will receive his due punishment. What? Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Oh no. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Alright, evidence and forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. Yes, thank you. I agree. You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. All right, Udgy. In return, though. I know. That place, right? Huh? Are these guys telepathic? I think they just have a long-standing history. Okay. Let's press him on these things. I'd appreciate if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, oh my god. Phoenix, Wright. Back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're gonna need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Ryder's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. He knows how to work the rules, you know? So, let's push him on this. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery. I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. I'm not sure I understand that. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Righto. Think about it. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. It's interesting because I guess I had assumed he had helped Lana with the forgery. But, like, what's his motivation there? He doesn't care about Emma the way she does. Obviously, he doesn't care. He doesn't even care about Lana. You know? He cares about himself, it seems like. So what is his motive? It's got to be tied to why he ended up murdering Goodman. I just don't know what yet. Alright. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. I'm glad the judge is on my case with the language used. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police. That's true. That's a good point. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho 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 ho! Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Ah! Careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Does he seem like the kind of person who would do that, though? Right, exactly. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Gee, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Press him on it. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Alana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? No, he wouldn't have. But I'm still gonna save. I can't think of how it would help him. That means he wouldn't have helped out anyone. Relax and take a deep breath, Mr. Wright. Try to think outside the box. After all, that's what you're good at, isn't it? It's interesting because without Emma or Maya or Mia, Edgeworth is the one who is kind of pushing Phoenix further here. Think outside the box. Never thought I'd hear him tell me that. The question isn't who would the chief help. It's who would ask the chief for help. If someone did that, he'd be sure to find a way to benefit from that person. Oh, like have someone in his debt? Like Lana? It appears the defense has nothing more to say. Chief, would you please repeat your testimony from the beginning? Okay. I hope that was right. I just saved over the other thing. But I think I chose the right thing there. There's gotta be something here. I just don't have any idea. Like, I feel like Lana asks him for help. He decides to do so he can lord it over her or use her to do stuff. But I don't know how to, like, demonstrate that here. I'll try the picture just in case. I don't think it's going to be this. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to look this one up. I'm feeling pretty stuck here. Oh, okay. I did choose the wrong thing. Here. He did have an accomplice. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to... I should have realized this. That I did choose the wrong option here. Okay, so let's point out the accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. Oh my god. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Well, it has to be Lana Skye, obviously, right? Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye? The defendant? Because he has a hold over her, you know? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. Yeah, so he gets someone there who can do his bidding. Or at least owe him. But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Udgy. No. Oh, wait! You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana, she's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? The Goodman one. Of course I'm talking about... yeah, the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. So what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. That is what he means. Not only that, the chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Judge, you're the only one who hasn't seen this coming for like 5 episodes. Huh? This is an affront to the highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's it. I'm impossible. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. He's like, don't pin this on me. It's too late, Mr. Wright. Huh? There's no turning back for us now. Yeah. Edgeworth's seen it coming for a while, but you know, he's on the ropes anyways. So it's like, the only way past it is through it, you know? Looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Fuck me. I mean, honestly, I think it might be this. Because Edgeworth bringing this back is how they got the body moved. And this was Gant's request. And, like, what's the point of this? I'm gonna present it. Well, Chief? So long as Wright here is tossing things out regardless of their relevance. Mind if I toss something too, Ajee? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you. You always were quite the joker, weren't you? Oops. Looks like I got it wrong. God damn it. Don't oops me. Maybe this boot to the head will knock some sense into you. I know it's hard with all that's gone on during this trial. But try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago. Shit, what did happen? We think that he was there with Goodman. Now that he mentions it, we did find something during yesterday's investigation. Something that proves Gant entered that room. Oh, right, the number. Okay. Looks like he wants another one of your boots, Ajee. No, I got it. I see. Alright then. Well, let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Okay. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Okay, I know what it is now. I mean, I think the other thing is going to matter. But if I look at this, yeah. It's definitely this then. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 77777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 77777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on the list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? Yep, well, what about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. I know we went through this earlier, I just don't remember, it's been so long. What are you talking about? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. Ah, what a change for Mr. Edgeworth here. So, in those early trials, he's like, I'm not here to find the truth, I'm here to prove they're guilty. So, nice little turnaround. Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime. Then we need to determine one thing. what transpired during that meeting. In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Oh, fuck me. Could it be this? Can only be submitted to the chief of police? I'm gonna try it. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you were in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I can't believe I chose the right thing. I'm so happy. I accompanied him? Yeah, there's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. Exactly. But wait! The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Huh. Sorry, that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. Oh, damn. Nice catch, Edgeworth. No! Oh, wow, that was quite the transformation. I love their, like, no animations. They're so good. You didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. No, I think you put it in Edgeworth's car and made him run an errand. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. Hell yeah, you did. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. No, the first time he gave it to me, I thought this was an excuse to get Edgeworth to drive over and bring the body. But I love that Phoenix thought it was useless. How the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. Now I do the screwdriver. I was so confident I didn't even save first. This is how we moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? What does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? Oh, it's here because... Ah! I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Yeah. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Poor Edgeworth. The unwitting patsy in all this. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Ms. Lana Skye. Order! Order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Ms. Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed into the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It's a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please, say something. I believe. Your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. Oh, we have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? It's not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I don't think I can. I don't have anything conclusive. I wonder if we could get Lana to admit it, but she's already admitted to the murder. I don't know. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body? Do I have any concrete proof? I don't think I do. I mean, like, what would it be? All I have are these little incidental things. I don't think I do. Somebody's showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Edgy? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. God damn it. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Edgy, I'll leave the rest to you. But I don't know what else I could have done there. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to the senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Wait. Edgeworth to the rescue? Lady Luck, huh? Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. Are we going to talk to Lana? A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Huh. Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth. We can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Lana Skye. The defendant, Miss Lana Skye? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body in accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on! Huh? Chief Gant? I thought you were going to eat. Oh, listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. Oh my god, you guys, he's doing it right in front of you. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. See, that's what he's been holding over her all this time. Ah, this isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, do you not see what he's doing? This court is now in recess. Shit. Yeah, I'm not happy about it either, Edgeworth. It looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, and I am out of time for this part of the trial, so I'll have to come back and see maybe even how it all resolves, hopefully, the next time. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!